Booktube does it. ColorTube does it. PlannerTube does it. Everyone does it. What am I talking about? Goals. Everyone's setting goals. Well, I don't know that these are necessarily goals I'm going to be setting today, but it is definitely what's new in 2022 for my channel. Kind of my guide, particularly for my Booktube aspect of it. What is my reading going to be kind of doing, and what am I trying to achieve? Now, I understand why some people wouldn't do goals because it's limiting, but for me, it's more along the lines of kind of having themes or an idea that I can kind of follow. It usually gets me excited. So it's kind of like back whenever I used to do my TBR kind of randomly, I was always more excited. I'm still not doing that yet. I will be bringing that back once I get all my books out of storage. Yes, that's going to be a continuing theme into 2022, probably until at least June, if not July, August. But once that happens, back to my physical bookshelf I go. But I got thinking about 2022, and of course I've been watching tons of videos and people and what they've been thinking about. And I suddenly just was kind of like, with my slow reading habit, or not as fast as others, I should say, I have to be a little bit more, I don't know, persnickety about what I'm choosing to do. So the first thing that I thought about was it's 2022. That's a lot of twos. So I thought I would do a couple things in relation to those number twos. So first one I thought about is, and this is to tag off of Lizzie Faye. Now Lizzie Faye Reads, and I'll put this down here, has started this Getting Serious About series. And the funny thing is that I had to sit down and figure out how many series I have read at least one book in. And once I went through my Goodreads, it's over 50 series that I've read one or more books out of, most of them one. And I was kind of like, and I looked at them and went, these are ones I still wanted to continue with, but I just didn't. Too many books, not enough time, right? Excuse me for a second, my nose is really itching. Okay, sorry. It always happens. It seems like when I sit down to film, my nose starts itching. There it goes again. Anyway, so I've decided that I'm going to jump on that bandwagon with her. Now, she is doing like 20 books in a series, 20 this and that. No. We're sticking with 2. Okay. This is about the most I can handle. And what I thought I would do with my series is start reading a series, but read 2 at a time. So I'm calling it 2 by 2. I'm going to go through my series 2 by 2. So if I read one in a series, and it's a series I want to continue with, I want to immediately follow it up pretty quickly with the second in the series to kind of get some mojo going with it. So in a lot of these series, I'll be going from reading only 1 to reading 3. But I figure by 3, I'm going to have a really good idea if I'm going to continue on with the series or not. Now, I already have one series started with my mystery book club, so I'm not really counting that one because it will always be at least 2 because we read 1 a month. And I'm kind of doing this as a quarterly goal. So it'll explain a lot better once I actually do it, I guess. But basically 2 books from a series, so sequential books in the series, within 1 quarter. So doing that 2 by 2 is kind of how I think I might make it through some of my series and help me keep focused on some of them, and may even help me eliminate a few. If I decide after, basically reading 3 books in a series, it's not for me. The next one is A Year of Seconds. So I really wanted to kind of do this one because there's, again, goes with the series thing. So definitely reading number 2 in a series of a book would count, or giving a author a second chance. So sometimes I read an author, especially one that a lot of people like. I don't know if I picked the wrong book or if that author's really not for me. But again, I kind of like, not interested. So in 21, I reread the Maisie Dobb. I read a second in the Maisie Dobb series. And I'm going to have to stick with it's not for me. So that's fine. But by reading 2 books in that series, and therefore I now can make that commitment that no, that's probably not a series for me. The next one is I want to kind of start having my monthly themes back. And this is something I gave up a little bit when I did go to my making my TBR through just focusing on my bookshelves. I kind of gave up some theme reading, and I used to do this, and it always had me looking forward to the next month and trying to focus, and it kind of helped me figure out what I was going to read. So by themes, I give each month a theme. So for January, the theme is first. It's the first of the month, the first of the year, it's the first month of the year. Anything that's so either trying a new series, which really I don't need to do at 50, but there's a funny one coming up, which once it's been read, I'll tell you more about it with my buddy read. But maybe the first in trying a new author. It could be the first time I've read a genre, or it could be a book with the number 1 or the word first in the title. So it's going to be first. And then and that's my monthly focus. And then like in February, I'll go back to what I used to do, which was Fantastical February. And then I just keep going. And every month I pick kind of a theme, whatever that might be. And then another project that I'm starting this year is top authors. Now, I'm going to say top authors according to a certain, well, basically they sell the most books or they make the most money. I mean, these are not top authors like I've chosen them, the masses have. These are some of the best known authors. They're the ones, and this is how I really got to thinking about, they're the ones you always see when you go to, well, if any of us are traveling anymore, but if you go to an airport and you go into a bookstore, these authors are always on that back wall. You just see them all the time. And I have to be honest, I don't read those authors. So I very rarely ever buy a book at an airport because they aren't going to have the authors I typically read or the type of books I say. But I've never given them a try. But I'm going to start with doing one top author a month. So I've already got the list of the top authors, and I'll share with you where I'm getting that information in another video when we talk more about it. And then I'm going to continue on with my buddy reading. I really enjoy it. It makes me read things I wouldn't normally pick up, which is fun. And also it's a chance to kind of have somebody to bounce back and forth ideas. It's a lot of fun whenever we both don't like it either. So that sounds like a win-win. We've had a few of those. So that's going to be with Fiona over at Reads and Eats as always. And that's a monthly thing as well. And then my final one is in and around NetGalley. And that is basically that I have signed up with NetGalley as of October of this year. 2021. I signed up in October. And I want to keep with that. But I'm going to be trying to get 2 NetGalleys read a month so that I can get my percentage up a lot higher. And also that would allow me within a couple of months to be able to go ahead and start requesting more books. I have books requested that are coming out through June, but I haven't let myself request anything further because I want to get that percentage up and make sure I've really got this going. And so I'm hoping to read 2 NetGalley arcs a month and go from there. That's really kind of, and that will also help with my blog as well, because I've started a blog and that's where a lot of my NetGalley reviews go, as well as here on YouTube. I think goals are important. I have tons of them for the new year. I found that working towards something and achieving it is the way to build momentum for myself. So that's why I do have some goals. So what are you planning to do for reading? Is everybody else getting on the serious about series? Thank you, Lizzie Faye. Now that I know that I have over 50 series to get through. And is there anything that you've started specifically for January? All right, it's really close, you guys, and we get to start Jan 1 of 2022. Fingers crossed, it's a wonderful, amazing reading year for you. I wish you the very best. All right, bye for now. And remember, keep turning those pages.